friends. So far in math, we have been talking about measurement and different ways to measure things. And in the last 2 weeks, we've been talking about how to measure how long something is or how tall something is. But now we're going to talk about a whole different way to measure things, and we're going to talk about weight. And weight, if you measure the weight of something, you're measuring how heavy or light it is. So if something's really, really heavy, it's going to be hard to pick up. Whereas something light is easy to pick up. And one way to measure weight is using a scale. And right in front of me here is something that's called a balance scale. And balance means even, right? So right now, this balance scale is balanced. The blue cup and the red cup are at about the same height. I just knocked it, so now they're moving. But it's fairly balanced. Now this scale helps me figure out which of two items is lighter and which of the two items is heavier. And I'm going to show you how we do that. So I'm going to take two objects. I have a pencil and I have a dry erase marker. Now just looking at these two objects, which one do you think would be heavier? And which one do you think would be lighter? Okay, let's see if you're right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the pencil in here in the red bucket and the dry erase marker in the blue bucket. And did you see what happened? Do you see how the blue bucket went down and the red bucket went up? And so what the balance scale is showing us is that the dry erase marker is heavier because it went down. So whatever goes down is heavier, and that the pencil is lighter. So if I take the dry erase marker out, whoop, now the pencil goes down. Were you right? Did you guess right? So let's try it again. Let's try it with, how about a glue stick and a dry erase marker? So which one do you think is going to be heavier? Which one do you think is going to be lighter? Let's test it and find out. I'm going to put the dry erase marker in the red this time and the glue stick in the blue. Which one was heavier? That's right, the glue stick, because the glue stick bucket went down and the dry erase bucket went up. All right, let's see. How about an eraser and a pair of scissors? Which one do you think is going to be heavier, the scissors or the eraser? I'm going to do this. I'm going to put the scissors in the red bucket and the eraser in the blue bucket. Oh, which one is heavier? You're right, the scissors were heavier because the red bucket went down. I wonder if we can find anything that might be about the same. And we'd know it was the same weight if this scale stayed like it is now and in balance, where one's not higher than the other. Let's try maybe the eraser and the glue stick and see if maybe they're... Nope. Looks like the glue stick is heavier. Let's try the eraser and the dry erase marker. Nope, now the eraser's heavier. I wonder, what if I took, I'm gonna grab a colored pencil. So now I have a colored pencil and a regular pencil. Do you think one's gonna be heavier than the other? Should we try it? Let's see what happens. Is one heavier? No, I think they are balanced pretty well. So that means that they are equal, that they are the same weight. So not one is heavier than the other. I hope you liked exploring with the balance scale with me. And I want you to try to think of, even though you might not have a balance scale at home, think of some ways that you could maybe try to figure out what's heavier or lighter. At school, sometimes I'll have the kids kind of make their own balance scale. And I'll show you what I mean by that. Have them take two objects and put it in their hand. So I'm going to put a glue stick in one hand, and I'm going to put the dry erase marker in the other hand, and then I'm going to stick my hand straight out. I know it's kind of out of the sight, and I'm going to let them sit here for a minute, and I'm going to see if I can feel with my arms which one feels a little heavier. And by doing that, naturally my body might start to, one arm might go down a little bit more. And if that arm goes down a little bit more, I know that the object in that hand is heavier. It's not a perfect balance scale, but if things are quite a bit different in weight, it's one way to tell. Sometimes we can tell the weight of something just by looking at it, but not always. So sometimes you can have two balls that are the same size, and you'd think they'd weigh the same, but they don't. One might be much heavier because it's made out of a heavier material. One might be lighter because it's full of air versus one that has a solid core inside of it. So different things can affect weight. So we can't always tell by looking at it. But if you think of an elephant and a mouse, you could just know that the elephant's going to be heavier, right? Because they're very extremely different sizes. So sometimes we can tell just by looking at the size. If we can't tell by size, we can try our own balance scale, or when you have this measurement tool around, you can try this way. So have fun experimenting with weight. I can't wait to see what you figure out. Bye.